we had just got there. We about to film for the video in the studio with Bun B, and you see there's Machine Gun Kelly. But at the time, I had no idea who he was. He's just like,
no idea, huh?
He's like, how you doing? My name's Machine Gun Kelly. I just signed up to Bad Boy. So I'm like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? He's
Puffy,
like,
nigga.
yeah, he's like,
daddy.
yeah. So he turns around and I look and I see he had 303 tatted on his arm.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you got 303? I'm like, why you got 303 on your arm? And he's like, I lived out in Denver for about 5-6 years, man. He was like, you know, it's like a second home to me. And I'm like, is that right? He's like, yeah, I love Denver. He's like, I lived on Monaco. And I'm looking at him like, you bullshitting. I lived on Monaco. You know what I'm saying? So we talking, and he turns to Bun like, can you believe me and this dude used to live on the same street? Yeah. And I'm chopping it up. And I mean, I really didn't know who he was, but he was cool. And the 303 tat, you know what I'm saying? He had a warm space. He was like right on his forearm, I think. You know what I'm saying?
I seen that tat.
I'm like, okay, this dude, you know, he loved the city, you know, so I'm already digging him. Man, I'd say about 5 months after we left,
that fool blew up.
I tell you, man, it's crazy how fast things change in this business, because on that day, I didn't know who he was, and 5 months after this day, he's a household name all over the world.
You said a key word, Bad Boy, a key phrase.
Bad Boy. You know, it was the same for 2 Chainz, right?
2 Chainz.
I was at the BET Awards weekend,
that's my guy there.
2011, and we were going to one of the little after parties out there in Hollywood, and 2 Chainz was standing out front, and my homeboy like, there go Titty Boy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh shit, that is Titty Boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm tripping like, okay, there we go. That's 2 Chainz. We in Hollywood. I'm tripping because Titty Boy standing there. Yeah. And we had sponsored the event. So we had the big sponsorship badges on to get into the event. And we standing and waiting, you know, to go in the club. And my dude Cash, he noticed that they wasn't letting 2 Chainz. They wasn't letting Titty Boy in the club because he had on a sweatshirt. Okay, mind you, this is right before riding around.
Big TV.
Maybe this is right before riding. I'm riding around and I'm getting it. Okay, and I think I heard 2 Chainz get on an award show and say a year ago they wouldn't let me in the club. And when he was on the award show, he says a year ago they wouldn't let me in the club. He wasn't lying because I was standing right there.
You heard it first.
Okay, they wouldn't
Big
let
TV,
him in the club.
Live in Denver.
Okay, riding around, I'm getting it hadn't hit yet. So I'm sitting there looking at my dude, and I'm like, man, that's bullshit. I'm like, that's still Titty Boy.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to make a play, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
already. I'm like, hey, I sponsored this shit, man.
Okay.
And I showed the sponsorship badge, and it say sponsor on there. And I'm like, so, you know, look, bring him in with us. And he come in. And he came in with us, man. He shook my hand. I was like, for sure, you know, it wasn't that major. And then he had to go get like right on the mic. Like he had, you know what I'm saying? He wouldn't go get on the mic.
2 Chainz, you hearing it first, see?
Chainz, you know what I'm
Rejection.
saying? And I'm sitting there watching it. And that was another situation where this dude went from not being able to get to the club. This is June of 2011. It's June 2011 because that's the BET weekend. Yeah. And on everything he went from in June of 2011 he couldn't get in because of a sweatsuit. And in June of 2012, that nigga get in the club with a purple sock, butt naked.
Did you hear this, y'all? Rewind the tape. We ain't gonna rewind the tape, rewind that comment. Tell them again.
Like I said, in 2011, 2 Chainz couldn't get in the club because he had on a sweatsuit. In 2012, he could get in the club butt naked with one purple sock on. Telling you the truth.
Boy, only in America. Like Don King say, only in America.
So don't doubt that. Don't doubt
That's
that.
right.
Don't doubt that the dude could be, you know, fairly unheard of 1 minute.
That's right.
Be that dude the next, because I
That's
done
right.
witnessed it happen twice. In front of my face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we sitting there going through the scrapbook. That's Killer
going
Tay.
through the scrapbook. Killer Tay in the building.
We did a little tour with Keek the Sneak and Killer Tay through Arizona and New Mexico. He's the